Good morning, people of America. I hope this message finds you well, and I hope everybody is having a fun time doing their ancient Egyptian design cycle. I want to take a moment to go over my canvas and a few important documents that you're going to go over, and you're going to be completing this week for the design cycle. This is a perform grade, and you will have several rehearse grades throughout the week as you complete this project. This is a fun one, guys. So, this is the document I'm going to go over. If you're watching the screencast, clearly you found this, and I will be going over the day one materials as well. Jumping right into it, when you click on the design project, when you click on the design, the instructions, it's the first thing that comes up is an overview of what design cycle is. We're going to watch a few videos as a class. If you're at home, watch these two videos and then try to answer these questions yourself. We're going to discuss them as a class, and the answer is that a lot of the times when we're given a problem, when we're given a task to complete, a lot of the times we go straight from our research, our brainstorming, immediately into creating the solution. A lot of the times we skip an important step, which is design. It's like we got to come up with a design for what we're going to create. And that's pretty much the point of this. Well, there's a lot to this, and it's a very important project. So let's just get into it. There are some important things to consider while moving through this project, and especially specifically for y'all. All information will be turned in online for this project. When you turn in one stage, you'll be given the next one to work on. So you can't go out of order. It's very, very important that you go in order for the design cycle. Each step will be graded, but your overall product that you turn in, your project, will be a formal grade. This is all a process to learn how to design and not just how your final product turns out. So let's go ahead and get into the product we need to solve, our problem we need to solve. So due to recent conflicts in Egypt, and we can say that they're revolving around coronavirus, the Museum of Cairo has had priceless artifacts stolen. You must create a traveling museum with 4 exhibitions to add to the museum's collection that details an important aspect of ancient Egypt. As the museum curator, you must also submit a description that will be displayed next to your creation for museum visitors to understand why it represents life in ancient Egypt. Your description needs to be 5 to 6 sentences, 1 paragraph long, with research incorporated. So when we look above, we see a picture of ancient farming, we see a shadoof, we see hieroglyphics, we see evidence of a social hierarchy, and it looks like we see Egyptians making bread. These are all fantastic images, but they lack a written description. So as we can see above, we see examples of daily Egyptian life. But this could be, this is just a few examples I'm giving you. You could write about a pharaoh, Hatshepsut, Tutmosis, Tut. Any of these people are fair game. You could write about a famous Egyptian artifact, such as canoptic jars, burial tombs, pyramids, all of these things. You're not just limited to the images I have here. So the problem is artifacts have been stolen, you need to recreate them, and you're going to create a traveling museum. So how will you be graded? Normally this is like one of the first questions. So each step of the design cycle will be graded. With each step of the design cycle, you will be given a rubric so that you know exactly what to do. Now, here's the project schedule. Today, we're doing our introduction. Tomorrow, you're going to have a total work day where you're going to do your inquiring and analyzing and start developing your ideas. Start creating your plan for what you're going to make. Wednesday will be a checkpoint where you turn in your research document through Canvas, just like we've turned in every other digital submission. Thursday, you're going to begin creating your final product. Friday will be your final work day, and you're going to have the entire weekend to work on it. And then Monday will be evaluation day. We will go over this in class, but if you're at home, email me any questions you might have. Now here, we're on work day 1. I'm going to go over the specific documents, but I'm going to use my Canvas to do that. But I want to go over everything in order now so we have everything in one place. So the first thing you have to do is you have to brainstorm 10 topics, 10 things that you want to be interested in to possibly travel around the world to show the people about ancient Egypt. Could be gods, people, objects, anything you've learned. So tomorrow in day 1, you need to have 2 questions answered. What is the problem you need to solve? And what product will you create to solve the problem? I've already given you those answers, but you have to put it together. Continue finding the links to add to your page. You have to have 3 credible sources. They must be academic sites. They can be from museums. They can be .edus, but they cannot be wikis. Now, we already went through our project schedule, but I always like to include it several times so that you're seeing it, reviewing it, and going over it. Here's our design cycle steps and stages that we will go over. So in your inquiring stage, and this is I can't talk, children. This is a fancy way of saying research. What is the problem? Well, all the artifacts were stolen from the museum, and now we need to create a traveling museum. Okay, I have 10 things on my list. How many things do I have to put in my museum? 4. So I need to take my list from 10 down to 4. Analyze existing products. Well, let's do my research. Let's look at websites. Let's look at existing museums. Let's look at pictures. Let's watch videos to gather information so I can develop a design brief. And you're going to put all of this into a document that I give you. A design brief is a statement saying what you're going to create. Developing an idea is actually creating a design. I'm going to have this on slide 1. I'm going to have this on design 2. And let's actually look at some examples for stage 2. It's like a blueprint. It's like designing some cells in an animation. What's going to happen on each stage? During the stage, you plan your final product. If you're doing a movie, you need a script. If you're building a house, you need a blueprint. Obviously, these are examples. You're not building a house. You're not making a movie. But you need to come up with your exhibition list and reason for selecting those items. You need to plan out your actually traveling museum room digitally. I have a website. That's going to be a fun part. So this is like an example of what we would do for a children's book, right? We would have each page designed out on each thing, and we would have a description of what's going on with each one. So with the slideshow y'all are going to make, I need to see written out what you're going to put on each slide before you make it. Think about this. When we make toast, how do you make toast? You got to be really, really specific. A lot of the times we don't even we think we put the toast in and it's done. We don't even think about slicing the bread. We don't even think about pushing the button down on the toaster. We don't think about taking the toast out and putting it on a plate. There's lots of steps that we forget and omit. So doing this step is very, very important. Now, your traveling museum model, you will actually design a room for you to have your traveling museum in. You will have all of your exhibits. You will design the room, and you're going to use this design maker for it. And then on the second day, I'm going to have a separate screencast to go over all of this information for you. I keep putting the design cycle wheel up because you need to be reading it and you need to be looking at the what next step is next. Creating the solution, I will have a separate screencast for, and they will be there for you for each day. So again, when we start looking at grading it, everything is here for you in this document. Take your time, look with your eyes, not with your mouth, and please ask Mr. ONeill questions. Once you're on my Canvas, you're going to have this brainstorm document. The brainstorm document gives you a place to list and give ideas why you want these 10 things. Once you've got your list of 10 things, you got to decide on your top 4. That's when you're going to click on the step 1 document. It'll ask you to make a copy, and then I give you the problem. I want you to reread the problem again, look at the schedule, and then write your design brief right here, and then start researching each one of your 4 items. This is what you will turn in on the checkpoint on Wednesday, and this is the document that you will use to create your final product. I know this was a really long screencast with a lot of information. Take a minute today, Introduction Day, Monday, January 10th. All you need to do is to come up with 10 things you're interested in from the unit, and tomorrow we begin our research. I will be here to answer questions. I will be here to help you. This can be a difficult project. This can be a lot, but just know to ask questions, go in order, take a deep breath, and be calm. This is going to be a fun one. All right, I'm going to end it here. Good luck. Y'all got this. And please, if you're at home, email Mr. ONeill with any questions you might have.